Welcome back, everybody. I am APH, and well, I've got some very positive feedback over the last couple days to my question. So here's kind of the what we're gonna do. First, you're gonna notice that it's the middle of the season. We're not the end of the cycle like we normally do, or the beginning of the cycle as typical. And here's what we're gonna do to kind of compromise. We're gonna keep the editing nice and tight. But to go with this, to help with time management, we're gonna move to only releasing on Monday through Friday. This week that we're currently in may be a little bit rough because as of yesterday, Sunday, I was officially diagnosed with COVID, and I have a severe migraine, so this week might be a little iffy. Getting going. Here's how the change is going to affect it. First, as I said, we're going to move to a Monday through Friday, and that's all that I'm going to drop videos on. And then we're going to go to where most of the cycles are going to be divided, where we do part of the cycle before the drought starts and part of the cycle after the drought starts. And we're going to try to keep the episodes right around 20 minutes, and we're going to try to keep the editing nice and tight. And then we're going to eliminate some of the time lapse unless it's extremely important. And that will kind of bring us in line with what you guys have suggested. Next line of business. I have not found a place which I'm going to put this yet, but I have my first Patreon ever. Welcome to the crew. And somebody found my link at the bottom of the page and signed up and donated. Huge shout out and huge thank you. And so there is in the description a link to my Patreon. It's a work in progress. More looking to develop my videos than I am looking to develop my Patreon page. So anybody that is like, oh man, I'm going to join the Patreon, here's what you're going to be funding and developing. There are things that I do need to make my recording better. A mic is the first thing, and the Elgato Wave 3 is my go-to that I'm looking at. Currently, I have the CAD U37. It's an absolute piece of garbage, and I'm not sure whether it is damaged because it is 8 years old, or if it's just a piece of garbage as it's 8 years old. But as I said, I'd like to replace it with something that is considered a professional grade. So the Elgato is the one that I'm going to look at. So again, a huge thank you to my first Patreon ever. Now, we are again in the middle of our cycle. We're cycles 27. We are day 8. We're the second day of our 18-day drought. So getting started, we're going to eliminate this section right here. We're going to let the water drain out of this area just enough that they can access the temple here. That's going to be pretty important going forward. We're going to create a walkway down here when we fill that in. We're going to delete both of those over the course of this episode, but it's going to be that one first. Over here, you're going to notice that I paused everything, and that's because this design is really bad. Getting power in here is really inefficient. So I'm wanting to redesign it. So let's delete it out, and then once we delete it out, I'm going to bring it back. All right, so unlike the typical, I left the clock running while I was designing, but this is what I came up with. So the printing press itself, the book factory, is on top of some storage. There is a spot right here where we're running power in between the buildings to connect them, and then power is coming this way over and connecting up to the printing press. I do have the storage are unconnected, but that is a lot better of a design. It looks to me like what I would think of a printing press. Yeah, from this spot right here in Maple Grove, we need to start our development of our first carousel over here. They haven't been getting a lot of love, and so this spot right here is going to get the first carousel of this district. The first carousel of this district. Wow, apparently this district's getting more than one. Probably not. And over here in the future, we will have some issues with this going underwater again. So we're going to simply place a level right here. We're going to let them build this, and then the moment that this floods again, we're going to go ahead and put it up on a pedestal. All right, for over here, this section of Maple Grove, we've got some heavy issues. First thing we're going to do is get rid of that. It doesn't jive, and you're going to see I already got rid of the dynamite over here. I got to thinking about it after I finished the last episode, and here's what we're going to do. We're gonna blast this down to this height, and once this blasts down, we're going to revisit this. We're going to place the dynamite there for our water dump on this side, and yes, I do mean this side, because there's going to be 2 water dumps in total, one on this side, one over here. And over here, we're going to break the path right here. We're going to place our district center right there, and we're going to go ahead and place our metal scrappers right now. We're going to place a metal scrapper right here, right here, right here, and right here. We'll be placing a couple staircases up as well in the future. I'm thinking that 4 metal scrappers should be what we need to kind of get going. You know what we're forgetting over here? I'm forgetting something. Yes, I am. I'm forgetting in the labor, we're forgetting a drop off, because we're going to have to drop off some things over here in the future. Okay, for this spot right here in from Maple Grove. We are going to be bringing the level up in order to get our printing press here as well. So we're just simply going to do something like that. We're going to revisit this later. All right, for this corner, this District 15. What District 15? That's right, we're going to get rid of it. If we connect it to Warehouse 13, Warehouse 13's District Center can lead all the way over here. And there immediately, wow, look at that line of beavers coming over. Oh, wow, yeah, they're going to come over and start building things. That's what I'm talking about. We've got workers carrying logs. We got workers coming over to empty out the storage. Let's blow this up while we're here. Excellent. I thought for a second that I killed somebody. Woo, that would have been bad. I have not killed anybody from explosives yet. That would have been a first. All right, let's get this going. Let's plan that line of dynamite. This area needs some love as we've got some homeless beeves. All right, this area right here, we want to start our housing complex. So here's what we're looking at. We're going to place a road right here. We're going to place a road right here. This is going to be really, really interesting, guys. Yeah, let's connect that. We're going to start with the large row houses on the back. We're going to go 2 of them. We're going to go 3 spaces. We're going to go 2 of them. Then we're going to go with the small row house. And again, we're going to go 2 of them. And in the center, we're going to go with a large barracks. And this is going to be the base of what we're going to achieve over here. We're going to place our awnings like we've been doing because it seems to be a crowd favorite. And we're going to do the same over here. Yep, just a little bit of awning over here as well. So this is so far what we have. Now, I will be placing awnings here in the front as well. I have to create a walkway up to the roof, and I want them to finish building everything before I do that because we're going to be building stuff on all 3 of those tiers of roof. All right, over in this section of wall, the water has stopped draining, so we're going to go ahead and drain the next section. And it's going to stop the procurement of gears and things, which is a bummer because I don't think they're going to get this done anytime soon. Yeah, they're still missing gears. Okay, so after a quick look, they're not getting gears, which is why they're having an issue. We're going to place another drop-off right there. I'm going to get some gears brought over from Padnos, and we're going to be GG off to the races. All right, for right here, we've talked about this a few times that it's time Padnos gets some love, so we're gonna get rid of this. I'm sorry, beeves, you're getting kicked out from your campfire, but it's gonna be well worth it. We're gonna close up that edge right there, and we're gonna get our campfire place back in. So it's gonna go right there, and then we're gonna reconnect our roads, and then we're gonna plant some trees around it. So the advantage of having a forester pre-established as I'm placing the trees down, immediately they're just filling them in. It's going to look nice. We'll bring it back when we've removed all of the planting ground. But yes, that looks really good. Oh my God, that's a whole lot of flooded field. Wow, bad decisions were made. That was a shame. Good news is this is almost drained. Yeah, look at all of that. It's drying up now, so it was only momentary. But whoa, we got starving beavers. No, they're not actually starving, just to let you know, but it is in a rough situation here. Ooh, we got a stranded beaver. I swear every time I click on that they're swearing as they're doing this. And from here on out, if we get beavers that are stranded, we are going to be naming them funny things. So this homeless unemployed beaver who was sleeping in a bad spot. So from now on, this beaver is I am Jiff. So I am Jiff, get out of there. Oh, wait, we need to say it the way that they actually say it. I'm Jiff. And where that internet meme came from is beyond me. So, you know, that is a thing. But leave a comment down in the comments down below of names you would like me to name beavers when they do really stupid stuff. Because we're going to save every beaver we can try to save. But at the same time, we're gonna make fun of them because it's comedic. All right, this area right here is coming together well. I'm believing that the House of H is helping them out, which is really good. And I do want the House of H to focus on something over here. So we're going to close up this spot as well. And then later on this episode, we're going to add something in here. All right, over in the section of House of H, I keep forgetting to add this in. So we're going to add it now. And we're only going to bring it up to this edge. Yeah, so just something like that for right now. We will be getting rid of this staircase at some point in time. It's just unnecessary anymore, but that will kind of bring it together. We can't close this off until the route is all the way around. All right, so this section of wall, it's finally exposed. It's very exciting. We're going to get a warehouse right right there. We're going to get our farm right there. And then we're going to do our very typical connector. Now, this is going to be all wheat fields. And so we're going to give it a chance for them to gather these trees. We're going to give them a chance to get that connected. And then we're going to get this all planted up and it's going to be all good to go. And then in the next episode, we're going to have our grist mill over here. It's going to be exciting. For this section of Ren over here, we're going to place a breakwater right here. And it may seem a little bit of a weird spot, but in the long run, it will make sense. And what we're going to do is we're going to be closing off over here as well. Just to probably right here, we're going to be closing it off and then we're going to be placing some dams right there. And that will let water into the aqueduct system, into the power drive system, but it won't let water spill over. All right, our last piece of dynamite got us installed, so let's explode that one because that's like the big finale. And then we're just going to go and detonate this big old chunk because who wants to see that? Yes, please. For this right here, we're absolutely going to get a water dump here. And then we're going to get rid of this tree before it decides to come back. And this is all going to be potato field. Yes, it is. And we're going to place a grill right there. We're going to leave a walkway for this, but I haven't configured that yet. We're going to place another piece of dynamite. We'll place it right there for another water dump on that side. We're going to go with a walkway down right here. This is going to be a very temporary. We're going to place a forester right here so that we can place some berry bushes down here. This area, I believe, once the water dump starts, which it should start pretty quick here because it does have an employed beef. Once that happens, I'm thinking that most of this area, just like that, is going to be within the area. We'll go a little bit further. Yeah, that seems like it's a good spot. Then we'll get some gatherers flags in there in the future. And on this side right here, if we're going to have 2 water dumps, we're going to need more water pumps. So we're going to go 2 more, and then we're going to go ahead and connect those out. We'll bring this so that can be connected, and we're going to go with a water tank. We're going to go with a water tank right here. Yeah, we're going to go with a water tank right there. And then we're going to go with a housing complex in there. So this area, I'm thinking in the long run, it's going to become a ghost town. At least for right now, it will get us what we need to happen. So I'll bring you back when we're ready to bring this last water pump in. All right, for this section of Warehouse 13, I do want a walkway across here and just something really simple. I did break the pathway on the House of H side so that we could connect the path, but that should allow them to come all the way around here on top. And I did extend this section a little bit just to make it look a little bit better. I also plotted out a little bit of dynamite, which they're promptly going and filling. Wow, check out that. That is the type of dynamite delivery you want to see. We'll give them a hot second longer, and then we're going to detonate this top row. And then we'll place some more dynamite in there. All right, we do have a little bit of dynamite plant here. We are only going to detonate this one row because I want to knock down bigger chunks at a time. And then we're going to get this section plotted out. And when that goes, then we'll detonate the next big chunk. All right, this is ready to be detonated, which will allow us to place our water dump over here. And this will bring this area pretty well together. Now, as soon as this area is fully established, we're going to be moving this into its own area. Ooh, they finished the water pump. Yes, please. All right, let's start planting out our crops. And so it's going to go potatoes. I guess we could start it this side. Yeah, we'll start at that side. Ooh. Stop. We're gonna bring a road in here just before they plant that. Yeah, they were like, wait, what just happened? That was a rush move. I reconfigured that real quick and then I moved that, so that works. So let's get a little bit more potatoes. All right, late in day 16, they finally finished this carousel. So shortly here, we're gonna be figuring out some power from up here to down here, and we are gonna be breaking this gatehouse. I know that already, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. But I'm believing we're gonna pipe it down this somehow. Not quite sure how yet. So, all right, our next water pump over here, next water dump that is finished. We need another farmhouse over here. Yeah, this is going to be a carrot farm, so we don't need a storage underneath it. We're going to connect it there. We're going to get our carrots all up and going. And that only leaves one other major thing that this area needs. And you guys might have been screaming the entire time, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. We're going to place it right here, and we're going to drop the disregard distribution center right there. So we're only missing like one block for it, which is okay. And then we'll just place that block. We'll place that block. We'll prioritize this to the top of the list so that they come over and build this as fast as possible. And that gives us 7 days before the end of the cycle to get everything over here finished, up and going, and ready to go, so that the next cycle, this can be self-sustaining and ready to start its procurement. It does have some water. So if at some point in time during this cycle I deem that it has enough water, I may break it apart. So the name of this district is the way station. So when we do make the transition, it's just going to be that. We're going to put the gatehouse over here, but we're going to let them kind of get a little bit further because they got to build this, they got to build that, and then they'll be ready to go. Of wall is in dire shape. So we're going to do an expansion to kind of move it out like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to add our bakery up here. Now let's add it over here. Let's put it on the end of the pier. Well, that's kind of a nice idea. And then we're going to get our grist mill. We're going to place it right there. And we do have to have a wheel powering it for the time being. So we're just going to place a wheel kind of in an awkward spot, just like right there, just for the time being, until we have a constant source of power. So we're going to let that build up a little bit, but they should have everything that they need over here. All right, our housing corner over in warehouse 13 is done. So we're ready for a little bit of help from the House of Age. So we're going to build a walkway up, and this is going to allow us to place some monuments up here. We're going to place the Flame of Progress on the back, and then we're going to place the Labor Monument on the front. In a very long-term goal, we're going to be placing a tribute facing that way in the future, but we're going to wait for a lot of things for that to happen. I'm going to let them build the Labor Monument first, and then we're going to probably create a walkway up the backside, just like we did on the front side. And I think this is a good spot to wrap up this episode. We're about 50 minutes into recording, so I'd like to thank you guys for joining, and we will see you in cycle 28.